Hey everybody, it's me and Ryan here.
Yo.
Isaac and Amelia couldn't be here because they had to go grocery shopping.
Yeah, they don't order their groceries online like us.
Like us, or just eat their parents' food like me. So anyways, we wanted to make a video talking about how we made our feature-length film, You've Got Us, for Joel Haver's Oscar challenge. I don't know, we thought it might be interesting to some of you all to know what all went into that and our planning and our process for making that, because we only had a week to prepare, and I think we pulled off something kind of interesting and cool.
Yeah.
Usually we have our fireplace meetings on Tuesday to make videos and stuff, and Joel's video came out on a Tuesday that morning, and I watched it and sent it to Isaac and Amelia and Ryan and said, do you guys want to do this? And they said yes. And so that day we met here and started talking story. I think the first thing I remember was like a quest. Isaac said it should be a quest.
Yeah. I do remember that.
And sometimes Isaac says things and it's like, yeah, but like I
we
didn't know what he meant by it.
Yeah, he
And
says
so-
it. That's kind of how all of us are. We all say an
Yeah.
idea, and then we're like, we love each other so much that we try to like make that work.
We have to talk it through until it makes sense. But
yeah.
I liked the idea of a quest. I was just like, how is that going to work? Somebody mentioned it being a house party. I don't remember who said that.
Could have been either me or Isaac. I don't remember.
But yeah, so then it was like, okay, it's a quest through a house party. And that was the seed of the idea. Started brainstorming what kind of cool visuals we could do in each place, in each setting, in each room. And I came up with like, we should do like a gambling scene, because I am into like gambling movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And so then I threw that out there, and somebody else threw out another, maybe the girls' sleepover. There should be like a girls' sleepover.
Yeah.
And then we kind of came into, it should like have these, like have different kind of tropes.
Let's have 3 or 4 movies in one. That was the idea. Yeah, because it was like we had the party as the whole. There was this party scene setting, party movie. And then we had our gambling, which was like the initial, you go in, the lights change, it's different environment. We now have blazers on. 007 was what we were shooting for.
Yeah.
And then we had our like kind of romancy, girly.
Yeah, we wanted it to be kind of a chick flick, but it ended up being just kind of like
more white chicks
white
comedy.
chicks, yeah.
Which is an accident, but like if I was going to send an homage to a movie.
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
But I was thinking, and then the horror.
Yeah, because horror at the end. Yeah,
I wanted to do like a A24 something, or like a Blair Witch Project something.
Yeah. Because
that's an easy look to kind of rip off. There's not much to that. So yeah, that was kind of the seed of the idea, because we wanted to break it down into chunks that we could plan out a little bit, just for the sake of time. My brain is always like, how can we break this down into the 3 hours so we have this many minutes for each section to get this much footage.
And so normally Alex drop in most, probably every single film or any longer than 20-minute thing that we do.
Yeah.
We'll all of us together will kind of come up with story and ideas, because usually someone will sprout a seed and then we just kind of grow off of it as a group.
Good metaphor.
And you take all of that information and you try to log it into time, so that when we go to filming, it's like, let's get everything, because these are all good ideas.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I broke it down to a certain amount of time to where I think it was...
It was like each shot we were supposed to fill like 10 or so minutes.
Yeah, so each of the parts, the gambling, the girls' sleepover, and the horror scene, they each had to be 10 minutes. And then the intro and the end had to be 5 minutes. So that put us
5
right
minutes
at
of on-screen edited.
right.
The end product
we had to
was
get
10 minutes,
that much content.
Right.
And so that's how we broke it down in our heads of like, did we get enough to move on, and how much time we spent shooting each part. So I kind of budgeted our shooting schedule based on how much footage we had to get with each scene, because we were improvising them for the most part. That's kind of how we laid it out roughly. And we've stayed on track pretty well. We try to have somebody on set. It was my sister usually, who's like, all right, you guys need to get this now. Or and
we're running late. We've got 5 minutes left. Yeah.
I will say we did, like, all the dialogue was improvised, but within each section we had like a point A and point B, and I made a list of that of the intro scene, for example. We knew I needed to mention that I had been through a breakup.
Yep.
and we were going to a party, and that Isaac was going to meet us there, or Shannon was going to meet us there. And those were kind of the three things we knew we needed to get out there. But we were just trying to bring it up naturally in conversation. And each scene was kind of that way. So with the sage, I just told Nick, who played the sage, like, just make up some challenge for us to try to get the next clue we need. And that's basically all I told him.
It is beautiful.
And we just walked out and he's surprised. So all of that was like a surprise to us. And that's how each scene went. With the planning, we created like the structure for each scene. And then I went to Ryan and told him, let's make an emotional arc for our characters, because you can make a movie without an emotional arc, but it's not really fulfilling for the audience, to me, if you get to the end and you're like, the characters didn't grow or change.
Right.
And so I was like, I'll come up with mine, you come up with yours, and we'll have like a point A and point B for our characters as well that's happening as the night is going. Right. So I wanted to start off, upset, heartbroken a little bit, and kind of blowing off my friends, because I'm like just selfishly entangled with my own drama. And then I wanted to end in a place that was like thankful for my friends, and also another piece of getting over this girl, and like kind of have this be the night that I got over her. Do you know what yours was?
I was thinking on it, but I know it was a character arc, but I don't think I was intentionally going, here's where it peaks, here's where, you know what I mean? I'm probably just going to list attributes of the character and play with that. So the kind of like only existing around people kind of thing, and like the fun guy, but not the fun guy by himself, like relies on that with his people. Alec, or Shannon. And so Sam. I'll go through all of them. Yeah, so going through that and like consistently being there but never really speaking up about being hurt or having any issues or fears or anything like that. And then the redemption is finally being like, even in the midst of like a low moment for you, which wasn't about me or wasn't about us, that's when Scott chooses to speak up to Sam and say, you're an idiot, like blah blah blah, this, that, I'm here for you, and like using a vulnerable moment that's not about him to be vulnerable, I guess, and like be a little selfish, which was like good for him. So his character arc was like kind of a self-care thing, like a little bit. We ran 2 cameras for the best of our ability.
That's part of the reason we knew we wanted Shannon to be this character that was off screen for most of the short film, because we knew we needed Isaac to shoot most of it, because he's our most talented camera person. So that's a way that our needs affected the story in an interesting way. So it's like, we're looking for Isaac. That's the story, because he can't be in it because he needs to shoot it. So yeah, he was running our micro cinema camera with a shoulder rig the whole time. And that setup you can kind of see in a mirror reflection in the girls' sleepover. I'll screen grab that and put that in here. Oh, yeah. But it's a hefty setup. It's kind of heavy. And it's what Ryan used for shooting Blue as well.
Oh, yeah.
It was
got like
very
a weight
rigged
on
up.
the back. Yeah.
It's sketchy, but then we had Brianna, who is also one of our patrons. She was working the camera that we use for these videos, which is just on a little Joby tripod. It's pretty light and easy to move around. It's a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. And so those were the 2 we had running most of the time. The micro cinema camera died in the middle, so we switched to 1 camera for the sage scene and the gambling scene. And then somebody fixed the micro cinema camera while we were doing that, and we got them both back for the end, which was really good. And helped us save
for the outside
a lot
scenes,
of time. And then we had close mics on me and Ryan. We had some wireless clip-ons.
First time we used them.
We purchased them for this film using the Patreon money.
Thanks.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And that sent the production quality up a lot, I think.
It just made it easier too.
We could run and go.
Because I mean, normally when we do, I mean, you've seen some of the videos where there's like a lot of movement, and it feels like, and we've done a lot of like full one-shot take things before, and swapping mics, the close mics back and forth for some of our dialogue is like, what a hassle. And part of time was a lot of that we saved a ton of time being able to go, you have a mic, I have a mic. And that's it. Like we just ran them. It was It was so much easier.
And then we had our friend Asher Foskey, who has done the sound for us on all of our fireplace projects, actually. Yeah. He was holding the boom mic for half of it, and then my friend Jeremiah was holding the boom mic for the other half of it, so that we could get extra people talking and room sound and forest sound and whatever. Yeah, I made the schedule, and I made like a point A and point B sheet. I can probably throw that in here too. Oh, yeah, cool. Of like each scene, this is the points we need to hit, and then just freestyle all of it. And there was, of course, some like surprises. Yeah, so there were some genuinely completely unplanned moments. Yeah. But for the most part, we had a path that we were just improvising the dialogue through. Yeah. We got all our friends together, and Bree handled the set design for the girls' party, mostly her and Maddie.
Yep, it was her bedroom.
Brianna and Maddie Palmer, and my sister Annie helped a little bit, but they did the set design for the girls' room. I think you and Isaac handled
the game room.
The game room.
Yeah, we had this chandelier. We were trying to have a lot of light, but not have a lot of light. Yeah, focused light, and so we had a chandelier that we took like almost poster board, created a cylinder and like fandangled it with some tape so that the light was just if you look hard enough, you're like, that's just a cylinder.
It's in the
of cardboard around this light, and you can see it, but like if you're not paying attention, it looks great. It was Amelia's idea to do the ring girl completely. Like that was
she's always wanted to dress up as the ring girl for something,
so she's just fulfilling her own fantasies. But maybe Isaac's, I don't know, but so it was her idea to do that, and I think that ended up being really funny.
I think the crew liked that part a lot. And some were actually kind of scared by it. One of the only purchases we made, aside from the mics, which we wanted to get for fireplace anyways, was that white nightgown. Oh, yeah. And then my pajamas that I wore for the girls' sleepover.
Yeah, I had all my clothes already.
Yeah, so we didn't really spend any money, except for the mics, but you could have done it without the mics. It just would have been a little harder.
That was mainly just so it was time. Just saving so much time.
That was a purchase we'd been wanting to make for a little while. Yeah, we just got all our friends together and told them to just go with the flow. If we talk to them, just stay in character the whole time. Yeah, so then I usually edit our projects, our big projects like that. I do all the editing in DaVinci Resolve. We do everything in DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah, color grading, everything.
Color grading, and now sound, they have good sound. So I started working on that, and I got like a rough together. I showed it to Isaac, and then he color graded it. He does the colors. We also made some like minor changes. I did some of the music, found the music to put in there, and handled the audio. I did use Reaper. I exported all the audio in one solid track, put it into Reaper, did a little bit of compression and like a limiter so it wouldn't blow out people's speakers. Exported that, put it back in the project. That was basically it, I think. That's kind of our workflow. And then we had a party Sunday night and showed it to everyone.
Yeah, it was the week after. So exactly 7 days after we did a little get together and watched it.
Yeah, and everyone seemed to like it. And then we all named it together because I didn't have a title for it. So after we all watched it together, it was like scheduled to come out on YouTube in like 30 minutes. And I was like, what do we call it? So we took a vote.
I mean, minus the improv stuff, it's not far off from how we normally come upon big projects like that. Yeah. There's usually some like intro heavy writing on Alec's part. He comes to us with this like, mosaic beautiful art piece, and me and Isaac go, how can we mess this up? And Alec goes, this is a good idea. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that's one of the reasons I like it, is because it is like, it's capable to be watched again and like receive something, because we put so much work into it, like weird enough, an hour's worth of work, and then like some light planning ahead, and then like a full night's worth of like improvising. I think everybody was just in it, so it creates like this, like there is this multi-layer. There's a lot of funny. There's a lot of these like, 3 or 4 different parts where you're like, there's a lot of different movies, but there was this consistent movement in the character's life. Like you're saying, each character did have an arc.
There's a lot that we talked about in this, and I'm probably going to cut it down for YouTube, but if you want to become a patron, I'm going to upload the full what we just talked through, and you can watch the uncut version of me and Ryan talking about everything that went into this. But yeah, become a patron and you'll be able to unlock this full thing, watch us talk through everything that went into this and some extra stuff that didn't make it into this YouTube version. Yeah, thanks for watching. You've got us. We couldn't have done it.
And
really,
the
we couldn't have
comments
done
and all
it.
the support. Oh my gosh, they were so encouraging to do something like this again.
Yeah, that was super. We couldn't have done it without you guys. And also thanks to our crew. Definitely took us, to the next level production wise. Like this video.
Subscribe if you liked it.
Yeah, and comment about what you thought about this video.
Yeah, show your friends the film. It's a good laugh. It's
It
one
is.
of those. Even if it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie you watch and laugh with your friends.
Yeah.